and welcome to official episode 2 of Saturday Night Ladies. I am Deej Behrens, the Canadian.
And I am Shari Fesco, the American.
We meant to do an episode last week, but last week was my birthday, so which was mostly spent catching up on free laundry at my sister's place, but you know. You gotta do what you gotta do. But here I am, we're gonna do the every week thing. I am determined to do this. The latest news, because I haven't had any more cast shakeups that we know of, but I'm pretty sure there won't be any, because, yeah, well, the show's next week, so.
You never know, Deej. You never know.
This is true. So what we're going to discuss today is they have the first 3 hosts and musical guests up. We have a second-time host and previous musical guest. We have a former cast member and previous host, as well as a former musical guest, but first-time hosting. But they have done some bits last year.
I'm not that impressed with Bad Bunny. He tries very, very hard. He's very game, and he tries very hard. I did not like his double duty episode very much. I know a lot of people loved it. I think, like I said, I think he tries very hard, and he's definitely a friend of the show.
That's where Marcelo comes in handy, because when they started thing with Pedro Pascal doing the Protective Mother, bringing him in as his aunt. I'm not Latino myself, but there's a creator I follow, Jenny Lorenzo, who does a lot of stuff on Latino culture. So as soon as I saw the second version of that, where she brought in that tin of cookies, and I saw her put the cookies in the garbage, I knew right away sewing stuff was going to be going in there. But Bad Bunny is still better than what we had last year. Now, this is absolutely no shade on Jean Smart. I mean, she's an extremely talented person. Classic from Designing Women, and I haven't seen Hacks yet. Is that on Apple TV?
Something like one of those 8,663 streaming services. Yeah, well, it's ridiculous. There's just too many. I want to say it's Hulu, but I could be wrong.
Don't have Hulu in Canada. However, we have Disney Plus, which is where the Hulu stuff gets ported up here. He has gone better over the last 2 episodes. The previous one doing double duty, because we still got a bit of a language barrier. But that gives more things for Marcelo to do with him. I'm pretty sure we're probably going to get a Sábado Gigante. The one thing that everyone is predicting.
Domingo! There will be a Domingo, whether you love it or hate it. People love it. People love it.
Why? I'm like, the only thing, I don't mind Domingo as a concept. But what gets me is, why is this couple still together? It makes no sense. But then again, it's a short sketch, so we're not expecting like continuity or anything.
And you know, Deej, I hate to break this to you, though I think you probably know it because you're a very smart person. I know people who have relationships like this. They're totally crummy. They're totally not working out, but yet they don't want to leave because for whatever reason, they don't want to be alone, or they feel guilty, or they stand in it for the kids. So yes, this is very, suspend disbelief, but I don't think it's that far from some of the things going on in our world in a lot of relationships. But I do agree, it is a little ridiculous.
Well, that does bring to mind the Needlemans, the couple that should be divorced, and I really miss those. I know why those two are together, because yes, they argue all along, but once you get the arguing, you get to the angry makeup set.
Okay.
And
That's
of course,
funny.
I'm also thinking of what would happen if we got the Needlemans and the Whiners together.
And I tried to think of the name of the Zagats couple, Adam Sandler and Chris Farley.
Oh, yes. I don't know. That's an error that's still kind of foggy to me.
Well, they were also a couple that argued a lot.
Yeah, there you go. Now, those are kind of not incredibly familiar with the music. I think this is their first time on, and I know there have been a lot of people that have wanted Doja Cat to be on the show, so we finally got it.
Yeah, I'm surprised SNL didn't have her at the height of her popularity, because they are so big in trying to get those young eyes, which is why Bad Bunny's on, and he's not that au courant as he used to be, but he's still pretty current.
But it could also be scheduling, because she does a lot of touring.
That is true.
So most things that don't happen will be due to just scheduling
That is a good point.
Scheduling conflicts.
I didn't think about touring. That is a good point. She does
Yeah.
have new music dropping, so I'm
There you
pretty
go.
sure that's why she's on.
Yeah. But I'd like to see how Bad Bunny does again with just being the host, not doing both host and the musical thing. And one of the things I did actually like from the previous episode was the bar scene, where they were speaking in Spanish and the girlfriends don't speak Spanish, and it's one of those it's that trope of, okay, these people can only see us talking, but they can't actually hear what we're talking, so we'll just pretend we'll just say stuff like say our grocery list and say it really angry and use hands, and so it gives the impression that they're actually getting a talking to, but they're actually not.
That was a great sketch, and it does make the point of Bad Bunny was just on as musical guest in the finale, and now he's going to host. Yeah. And that does not happen very often.
And usually it's host first, then do double duty.
Yeah, very interesting. So I agree, Deej. I think him not having the pressure, I think double duty is a lot of pressure.
Oh, so yes, definitely.
Maybe this will let him focus on the comedy aspect a little more. And I think he's going to do at least better this time. So I have good expectations.
Yeah. And then there's the Kanye effect with the intricacies of the musical performances these days, because once he did it, then everybody wants to do it. It used to be just, you're on a stage, they do their song, and that's it. But now it's all these... the productions are neat. The one from last year with Lady Gaga, applause when they started out in the hallway and going up, that was really
amazing.
Good. Another good one is Billie Eilish.
I was just going to say Billie Eilish. She's always good.
I will admit, I'm one of those people who's not always there for the musical guests. October 11th. That, as we know, is going to be going is the return of Amy Poehler.
Yay!
And not only the return of Amy Poehler, but this is I believe that is the exact date.
It is.
That the original SNL premiered. So this is the true 50th anniversary. We love Amy. I love Amy. I loved her book.
Oh, yes.
And these days, mostly I'm listening to books because I used to read when I took the bus, but I don't take the bus anymore. So it's just easier to have have it on from all the podcast apps. One I did just finish, the book by Gary Marshall.
Ooh.
By Happy Days in Hollywood. I love industry books.
Me too.
But Amy Poehler is a classic all the way. So I'm imagining they'd probably sneak her onto the update disc some way.
I hope so. I'm excited for this one. Amy Poehler is, we are the Saturday Night Ladies. And we give extra props to the ladies. And Amy Poehler is one of the most important in front of camera names in the past, I'd say, second half of the show, so past 25 years.
Yes.
I'm hoping for some cameos. Are we going to get some Tina?
Yes.
Ooh, Tina and Amy and Colin and Michael? Oh, that would be so much fun.
You know who I really want to see at the update desk? Yeah. But I don't know if you've seen these online, but the Ryder Cup is this week. And Colin Jost is sort of hosting a morning show for the day on Peacock. And he had a number of the Saturday Night Live former cast members on. So he's had Michael on. He actually introduced Michael as, here's a friend of mine who just recently lost his job.
Poor Longfellow.
I know.
Michael.
Yes. Well, he seems to be handling it as well as he can.
But I'm glad he was on that. That's really...
Yes.
Oh, well. We do miss Michael and wish he could have been at the update desk. But if we can have Amy and Tina, that would be super cool.
Or Amy and Seth.
I'll take any of them. I'll take any of them. But, I'm partial to the ladies.
True, but I do love a good really.
Oh, me too. Oh, boy. And they could really, 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 really right now.
Yeah. Although, I think my ultimate favorite really was with Seth and Kermit the Frog.
That was a great one.
Yeah. It's always nice to see Muppets out of their natural environment.
Yes. I love the Muppets. I know that a lot of people have feelings about the Muppets in the early years. But the classic Muppets that we know and love, that Deej and I'm assuming Deej, you grew up with them too.
Oh, the Muppet Show is still one of my favorite shows of all
Yeah,
time.
we still have love for those Muppets. So.
Yeah, I've watched all the iterations of the Muppets, and it does hurt when the voices change, because I know sometimes they have to. Like, anytime I come across the of Jim Henson's memorial service, that always gets it. So I know Saturday Night Live wasn't probably his best fit, but all the work he's done there was Sesame Street and the Muppets.
Yeah, and I give him credit for even trying on Saturday Night Live, because it was so out of his wheelhouse, and he couldn't use his own writers.
Yeah,
I mean, he was very handicapped in that way, and he still made the best of it.
Yeah,
he tried to do something different and unique, and it just didn't work out. But we still love Kermit the Frog, and we still love the Muppet.
And before then, he was doing the coffee commercials in the 50s and 60s. Yeah, it was commercials for Wilkins Coffee.
But yes, very excited for Amy Poehler. Very, very, very excited. And who knows? Maybe we'll see a Muppet drop by this season. Anything can happen.
Anything can. Now, as much as I hate to sound like an old broad who's out of touch with modern life, although not as much, I have no idea who Role Model is. And I meant to do some checking on what they do, but I have no idea.
Well, Deej, that's why you told me, hey, Shari, if I got to do all this editing, you better do some research, girl. So I did some research, because I too am of a certain age, and I used to keep up with all this music stuff, but it's so quick all the time. There's a new artist every 5 seconds. But Role Model is one of the new hot things, and Lauren is dying to get those young eyes back on the show, because back when we were kids, we were watching the show, and it was a show for the young people, and it's gotten away from that. It's not as much. So he is using musical guests as a hook, and Role Model is definitely of the TikTok, the social media era, very popular with the youth online. And I looked them up, and he does indeed have a hit. It is called Sally When the Wine Ran Out. I watched the official video. He's dancing around in a mall. It's pretty great. I was surprised how much I liked it. He has a pretty great voice, and the song has that old storytelling feel of the 80s. It was very 80s feeling, which I liked. It felt very nostalgic to me. I'm kind of interested in what his performance is going to be like. And people in the SNL community were talking about the fact that maybe Sally O'Malley, Molly Shannon, good friend of Amy Poehler.
And now I'm 57.
And you're rocking around with her wine bottle while he's singing about the wine running out. I could totally see it. So who knows? Who knows? It could happen. So I'm actually more excited about this than I was when I first saw the name, because I didn't know it. So the research actually made me more excited, because catchy song. I was kind of impressed.
Well, since you mentioned slightly 80s inspired, and I'm very much a child of the 80s, my first concert was the Go-Go's in 1980.
Woohoo! One of my favorite bands back then.
The final one is Sabrina Carpenter doing double duty. So this is another one where they're not doing the host and double duty, they're just going straight into double duty, which I don't have a problem with. I was a big fan of Girl Meets World, and where she was, she was basically Sean to basically Sean equivalent, and Sean eventually married his mother and adopted her. So yay! I'm really sad they canceled that show. It was good. But yes, Sabrina Carpenter, she has a great acting ability. She did an awesome job in that Scooby-Doo pre-tape last year. And so we know that she's a very hard worker, because I've seen a lot of the stuff she does, what she does in all her stage shows, with the costume changes, and pretty sure she's going to be very capable throughout this whole episode. It's just a matter of always will come down to the writing.
I think Sabrina's got the chops, but again, it always comes down to the writing, Deej. Absolutely. I 100% agree with you. But I loved Girl Meets World too, very, very much. I was a big fan. And Sabrina's very funny. I am surprised this is coming as late as it is. I mean, she's still very popular, but a year ago, this would have been even a bigger deal. So I'm surprised they waited so long, but come on, she kicked off the 50th anniversary with Paul Simon. So she's definitely a friend of the show.
Well, she had a pretty big tour last year, so I think that was. Oh, hang on.
Well, this is true.
We have Feline interrupt us.
No problem.
Hi. Hello. Yes.
It's a Bazinga break.
My cat's Bazinga, who.
Bazinga, are you a fan of Sabrina Carpenter, so you had to interject?
It's quite possible, or more likely it's because of the trees that are on the other side of me.
That could be it.
Yeah, because since we're doing just audio, Bazinga is a Norwegian forest cat, tuxedo, and for being, even though he's 12 years old, he is very much a troublemaker.
But we love when Bazinga drops by.
Oh yes. Well, he's my boy. He has his moments, like when he's poking at my back with his claws when he's wanting affectionate treats. Yeah, I'm talking about you. Okay. He off the mouse.
But anyways, Deej, I want you to hold on to your seat there because I'm going to give you some news.
Okay.
I don't know if you see it coming or not. I think there's going to be a second Domingo. Because the first Domingo was, of course, and I didn't even know the song at that time, was Espresso.
Yes.
And he's been at one of her shows playing Domingo.
Yes.
And she called him out of the audience.
Yes.
I feel like she's going to be one of the bridesmaids and they're going to do a song and it's coming. However you may feel, it's coming at least once, if not twice in 3 episodes. And it's happened before in past seasons when they get a great recurring character. And recurring characters are something that they've gotten away from.
Yes.
So the fact that a couple are getting popular again, I think Lauren's going to milk that cow.
Of course.
All the way to the bank.
Although I will say that his movie guy character for Update, definitely not a fan.
I liked him more than others did, but yeah, that one isn't catching on the way Domingo has.
Well, the whole joke is, I'm going to talk loudly about movies that I haven't actually seen. So, like, it makes no sense. Sometimes I do, like, I happen to know that Lauren is a big fan of logic in sketches because when Bill was writing the first Vincent Price sketch, he brought it up. There's really no logic because if Vincent Price is being so mean to the guests that come on his specials, why would they come back? If they flipped around to him getting frustrated with all the other people acting stupid, and that.
I agree. And in that case, Lauren was very logical. But I think sometimes eyeballs to the screens trump. I don't like to say that word. I can't think of the right word, but you know what I mean. It's more important. He wants eyeballs on the screen, so he'll let the logic go.
Yes, I know the word. I know the word you are avoiding. And that actually brings up another interesting topic of conversation: the Jimmy Kimmel incident. How do you think that might affect Saturday Night Live this year in the rating?
I guess only time will tell. I mean, Saturday Night Live back in the day used to really they were fearless. I feel like they've been, I'm going to use the word neutered because that's the best word I can think of. They're not taking the risks. They're not being the rebels that they were in 1975 and even 1980. And I get it. I don't think they're going to have, like, the fact that the person doing the impression of our president is doing a much less biting commentary than Baldwin did. I think that right there shows you that Lauren's being a little bit thoughtful. And I don't think it's going to affect the show too much. I just don't think the show's going anywhere. It's still bringing eyes to the screens. Granted, not as young an eyes as Lauren would like, but he's working on that. So I don't think it should hamper the show at all. I don't know how the show's going to tackle anything that went on recently, or if they're going to tackle it at all. I guess we'll see next Saturday. I can't believe it.
Oh, and I have found synonyms for the word. We can always do outclass, outshine, eclipse, surpass.
Any of those would work.
So I'm gonna go with eclipse. Yeah, because the one thing that gets me is because unfortunately the president's a whiny bitch. I will have no qualms about saying that. And the thing with the UN and the escalator. So yeah, the escalator will actually stop. But if you just look to the right, there's another escalator going up. Could you not back up, move over, and then go up it?
I love how you know things that are going on in our country more than I do. I have not heard about this escalator thing, but
yeah.
I am sure it would be amusing.
I try not to infect me too much because it mostly just makes me scared and depressed. Because that whole 51st state bullshit just is still something I'm very angry about.
And rightly so.
Canada is an awesome place. I like being Canada.
Canada is an awesome place. We are not a political podcast, but we do have our feelings.
Yeah.
And if you don't agree with them, we still want you to listen.
Yeah.
But we still have our feelings. So,
well, a lot of the politics of the day do come into effect on Saturday Night Live. Now, general hopes for season 51. I really want them to get their political. Okay, cold opens don't always have to be political. How many times can we use the bunch of people are doing stuff, freeze frame, then 47 comes in? I know SNL is big on similar frameworks. There are other things you can do the cold open on.
No, I 100% agree with you. And I know politics has always been a part of Saturday Night Live. Like I said, it's gotten a lot less heated and risky, but it's always been a part. But I 100% agree with you, Deej, and I think a lot of other fans do, whether they're casual fans or super fans like us, that, there's a lot going on in the world. Certainly they can come up, like you said, Deej, what does it always come down to? The writing. So hopefully the writers will pleasantly surprise us this season. We can hope.
Well, now we've only really heard of people who have left the writer's staff, but we haven't really heard much about if anyone new has joined.
No, we have not, but I'm sure they hired some new writers. They have to have.
I have big hopes for Veronica, not only because she's Canadian, but it seems like a lot of fun. Bazinga, stop poking me. Okay. Am I going to have to bring out the squeezy meat, Mr. Man?
We have to take care of the staff here at Saturday Night Live. And Bazinga is our staff.
Well, he does love his squeezy meat.
Yeah, I'm excited about Veronica too, Deej. I keep hearing good things about her. I know she's another one who's online a lot with online sketch comedy, as are some of the others whose none of their names are ringing in my head. I know one is that we talked about from that college comedy dropout show. I do want to mention that we're now down to a whopping 5 women on the show, on the cast. 5 women, 12 men if you count Colin and Michael. That goes to one of my hopes for the show. Can they please get a few more women before the end of the season?
It's not unusual for people to join at different parts because
it's happened.
Well, Kristen Wiig didn't start till episode 5.
And they didn't know Ego was leaving till just a few weeks ago.
The last minute.
So come on now, let's scour the TikTok, go to some shows, please. Please, please, please.
That there's, aside from the new featured players, there's still 2 previous featured players that remain. That being Ashley and Jane.
And you know what's hilarious, Steve? Jane and Ashley are veteran women now because there's only 5.
Yes.
They're considered veterans and they've only had a year because it's Chloe, then Sarah, and then Jane and Ashley, and then Veronica. I find that hysterically funny, but...
Well, the concept I'm thinking of is, are they going to get promoted to repertory players? Taking Jost and Shay out of the equation because they strictly do Weekend Update, we have 8 repertory players and 7 featured players.
Whoa, that's nuts. I'm just thinking about the fact that it's 10 men and 5 women. Sorry. I'm aggravated. That's half as many. For those of you out there who are as bad as math as I am.
In more recent years, it's been after 2 years they've been promoted to repertory, but there is definite precedent because in season 32, all the featured players were bumped up to repertory casts at season 32. And interesting enough, the way they found out was the intro, when they played the intro of the show that night.
Oh wow, they didn't. That's typical SNL. They don't tell them anything. A lot of them didn't know they were hired for like.
Yes, I've heard many stories. Am I hired?
Yeah, communication on that show is interesting. But I also want to point out, as I'm on my math kick, even though I'm terrible at math, 2 of the 3 hosts for our upcoming 3 episodes are women.
Yes.
I can't remember the last time that happened, where the women hosts outnumbered the men in the beginning, in the first 3. So, all right, we got to take our wins where we can. So we have a small female cast, but at least we're getting some female hosts who will hopefully bring some female perspective, and hopefully Amy will bring in a bunch of cameos that will be mostly women. So we can hope.
Well, we don't want to go too heavy on the cameos because that's the one thing that did happen the last couple of years. There's so much cameos. Like, oh, you got cast there that can do stuff. Why not let them actually do stuff?
That's true. That is a good point. But a few would be fun. Amy's got so many connections, but I do agree. I don't want to take away from the cast, especially the new players. It's another one of my hopes that they'll let the newer, so I'm talking about Ashley and Jane as well, as our 5 newbies, give them a little more screen time. I'd like to see some of the veterans pull back a bit and give these new kids a chance to shine. I've always said I want that, because I never think they let the new cast members shine, and then they end up leaving or getting asked to leave. So I guess we will see.
The actual sketch performers in the cast, it's basically only one more repertory than there is featured. So I have a suspicion, and I could be completely wrong. I think at the very least Ashley Padilla could be promoted, but I think Ashley is very much needed. She will definitely fill in the Heidi gap that's been created. Who knows? They might promote them both. I don't know, but I expect at the very least Ashley.
I hope you're right, and I hope they add a couple of female players, at least by the holiday season. But I guess only time will tell. Saturday Night Live is always keeping us guessing, and that's why we keep on watching.
Not only the audience, but all the staff and everyone else too.
Definitely. And I also, another hope while we're on this roll, I want more female. It is Saturday Night Ladies, people. I want more female-related topics. Remember that great mascara sketch where they've got the makeup running down their face?
Yes, where they actually want mascara to run.
I loved that one.
One of my all-time favorites is Welcome to Hell. It was at the start of the Me Too movement.
Yes, I do remember.
Apparently these little guys have been sexual predators. That is one song that I absolutely love. Especially the part when Leslie Jones comes at the end.
Hey, just wanted to say, I think what you guys are doing is really cool. I get it. But you do know that it's like 1,000,000 times worse for a woman of color, right?
Oh my God.
Yes. Thank you.
Well, let's get back into this.
I love Leslie.
And who can forget the other lady songs with Do It in My Twin Bed?
Oh, yes.
Still a good classic.
Wonderful.
And of course, Back Home Ballers.
And what is it? I think it's This Is Not a Feminist Song.
That was with Ariana.
That's a great one too. I want more of that. We only have 5 women. Let's showcase them together talking about topics, because we're out there. There's plenty of us female fans out there. Lots and lots. So do some sketches that are relevant to us. And I feel like they've been doing, I don't know about more, but I feel like there's always some good ones. I love the Red Flag way back in the day with with Kristen being the awful woman that all the men are. And then,
Oh, the
yes,
commercial.
and then of course Nuva Bling, and of course we can't. And of course, we can't talk about female related sketches and not mention mom jeans. Put on your mom jeans. So I want to see more of that. There's plenty of topics to bring up, and you can still fit the men in there somewhere. So yeah, so that's my hopes for season 51. I hope that between your and my hopes, some of them actually come true. I am feeling maybe optimistic. Oh, there's so many good ones. We could do a whole episode.
And we will.
So let's hope. Definitely.
You never know how the season's going to go.
But our hopes are high.
Just why generally go for the hope for the best, expect the worst model.
That's probably the realistic way to think.
But we still got Sarah.
Yes. And we have Chloe. And I'm glad they're both coming back, and hopefully they're going to get with Veronica and Jane and Ashley and do some great stuff. And next week we get to talk about the season premiere.
We do, yes, and that's going to be so much fun. Yeah. Definitely have to do it on Sunday because we're both on the chat for the SNN.
Oh yeah, we will
show.
definitely be there.
Then of course the discussion on Monday. So Sunday night is the day we will be discussing that because I want to get this out on Sundays. And of course, We Heart Hater, another podcast under the Wacky Notion Productions umbrella. That's coming out alternate Friday. Our next episode on that is going to be about Greg the Alien.
Which I was so excited because I just listened to your last episode, and when you mentioned Greg the Alien, I was like, oh, yes! One of my favorite Bill Hader. How can you have a favorite Bill Hader? They're all awesome. But I do love Greg the Alien, and he is so great in it. And Bill is just, DJ, I totally understand your adoration, Deej. He's one of my favorite cast members of all time as well. And he's so perfect in that, and just so perfect. And others are in there too, playing the various athletes, but I know nothing about sports. But yes, I'm very excited. I'm very excited about that episode, and I just want to do a plug for We Heart Hater because it's the reason I'm here. Because I've been like a giant fan from the beginning when Deej was first talking about it, and then she got Casey, and I liked Deej and Casey just from hearing them on the SNN. Because they both have really good radio type voices, so it's like they're going to be. Yes, you both do. So I'm like, they're going to be great. They're going to be great hosts, and they do so many interesting topics.
See, I'm always thinking I'm a little loud.
I think you're perfect.
Okay, so I'm trying. Because the last couple of ones I've listened to, I was like, I seem very loud, so I got to try and. But then that's just how I tend to be a lot of the time.
You're passionate, as am I.
So
folks out there in Saturday Night Fandom, if you haven't listened to We Heart Hater, you need to. Because obviously, if you love Saturday Night Live, you love Bill Hader. Because he's synonymous with the show. So check it out for sure.
Just hit episode 20.
Whoa,
so
20!
We're still there. Yes. Imagine if I was doing that every week. I don't think I can handle that. But I still love getting my voice out there and hopefully do more to get the listenership up. But, podcast development takes time. But I think I'm at my podcast limit right now.
Well, I am happy to be at your limit with you. And very excited for season 51 next week.
I could not let your voice go away because I enjoyed all the water cooler episodes.
Well, I am very happy to be out here and really looking forward to Bad Bunny on October 4th with Doja Cat. We'll be back here chatting up a storm.
And just because we're going through all the sketches, yes, I am actually going to watch the Mingo sketch as much as it probably hurt me emotionally at a deep level. Again, Marcelo Hernandez is charming. Like, even Bill Hader's daughters are obsessed with Domingo.
Yes.
So I don't know if you saw his interview on Seth Meyers a couple weeks ago.
I did hear that the girls are in love with Domingo. And I'm sure he'll be on
Yes,
that
'cause
October
that-
4th episode, and I look forward to talking about it with you, Deeds.
Yay! So yeah, so that is all for this week. Our episodes are going to be a little bit longer on the episode ones, I think. But I hope you're enjoying this thing. But please subscribe, like, send us comments. I really want to know your thoughts. What other, aside from the episode recaps, what other things you want us to do specific episodes on? And as well, if you want to come on the show, we would love to have more ladies on here. You can email wackynoprods@gmail.com. Okay, so have yourselves a good week. And we're just gonna get all ready for next Saturday. Welcome season 51.
Yay!
Saturday Night Ladies is a presentation of Wacky Notion Productions. If you would like to be a guest on the program, please email wackynoprods@gmail.com. Hosted by Deej Barons and Shari Fesco. Recording and editing by Deej Barons. Research by Shari Fesco. Thank you for joining us, and please like, share, and subscribe.